Hello, this is Robert Pultz. Uh, Thought we would take and do a video today on another of the family questions. Uh, just to refresh your memory, at Thanksgiving this last year, I asked my family for a question and what questions they had about the family, and meaning the genealogy part of the family. And my children and grandchildren were there, and I got a number of really good responses that I've been working on all year. And so this is the number 2 in the series, uh, and this is on Grandma Flo. This came from one of my children. Let's see. Come on. Okay. Just to tell you, I'm not a professional or an expert genealogist, just an amateur. I'm probably my skill level is about the same as yours. I do these things. I'm doing this one to get back to the kids on this one here. They don't all have the time at one time to take and sit down and do something. So I'm doing the video so they can take and do it. But it will show you how I do and how I arrange stuff and how I do stuff. So I thought there might be a broader use for it. So I'm going to put it on YouTube. To make the genealogy relevant to my family once a year, I've started asking for questions. Questions I got were really good. I'm going to be very busy. I was very busy this year putting this together. Many of the questions are not completed yet, so I'll be having some of those will roll into 2025. This particular question relates to my wife's family, and she's prepared a demonstration. So this is just one part of the answer to the question. She will take and provide much. She does much better presentations than I do anyway, and but she's going to take and provide a demonstration on her grandma. I'm going to process. I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the research log, the pedigree, the immediate family timeline, index to the files, the FamilySearch data, how to find the physical files, and RootsMagic 10 data and Zotero. Okay, that may be the last one. Yep. Okay, let's go back one. All right, so first thing we want to do is come up here and go to Grandma Flo. Okay, so let's go to this is the response that I prepared. Follows the same format as all the responses for my stuff. First thing, always a research log. So this tells them where I found the information that I have in here. I have not, to be fair, haven't done much research on her on Grandma Flo since before 2017. So it's not, it hasn't been updated. For instance, the 1950 census has not been found yet. So there's a lot of work to take and do there. I don't know if Dee's found it or not, but I have not. This is the pedigree chart. Grandma Flo is Florence Ellen Jackson. That's her maiden name. She became a McDonald later on. And this is her immediate family. These are her children, and this is Nora Mae McDonald, Ruby Jean, William Jack McDonald, and James Raymond Jimmy McDonald. And then Barbara Ann and John Archer McDonald. Each of these, it's she has a lot of brothers and sisters. Okay. Timeline. This is her timeline. She was born in 1908. This is in Oilton Creek County, Oklahoma, United States. She moved, her family moved from there to Vermilion, Illinois. Now, I think I can take and show you. Oh, what I need to do is get this down where I can get there. Okay, now Vermilion, Illinois. Let's see if it'll come up. Okay, let's get rid of this. There's Vermilion. Here's Terre Haute. St. Mary of the Woods, which is my family, was in St. Mary of the Woods. You can see where it is in relationship to Indianapolis. And it's a long way from where they were in Oklahoma, because they were over in Oklahoma, over in this area in Oklahoma. So that's a fairly long trip down. Today, you can make it really easy on this highway. The highway didn't exist in those days, but there were trains that went back and forth between those. Okay. Let's see. I was over here. Okay. Now, if you go down through this timeline, and I'm going to go in more detail in a minute, you'll see that the various things that happened to her and her death. And then here is the sources for that information. So here is the source citations. Now, these are old source citations, haven't been updated to the new standards, but they should be good enough to take and get people to where they need to be. And so there's all the sources. Most of these are Ancestry accounts. At the time I was doing this, Ancestry was the service that I was using. I've since moved to FamilySearch for most of my research. Okay. All righty. Let's get this back where I can get. Whoops. Nope. We want to stay on there. But I need access to that arrow. There we go. Okay, we did the timeline. This is what her index looks like. That'll be in the file. I'll show you how to get to this in just a minute. Let me see if I can get that over some. There we go. So if you want to take and go to her parents, it's nothing. You just click on it. Click on it. If you want to go to her husband, just click on it. Okay. Okay. So here's her timeline. Information that we have in here. I have a postcard. Looks like it's December 22nd. I think this is in 1933. Looks like there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this file. And then here's a Valentine card. So, Valentine. I have not figured out who William Vault is, but he shows up as a cousin. We'll talk about him in a minute. It's possible that Diane has. Okay, here's the birth information that we have on him. That's basically a copy out of the Family Bible. Here's the 1910 census. And what I found really interesting about this, look, here's a McDonald that's living just down the street from him. And here they are, and here she is, and she's 1 year old. And this is the rest of her parents and everything. So if you want to see the details where that was found, here's the details of where that was found. Okay. And see, that was 2011 that was done in. So that was probably when it was done too. Here's a letter from George. She's 11 years old. That makes her in the 6th grade, doesn't it? And he's talking about having failed the 5th grade. And he's also talking about being a cousin. And so I haven't figured out, I'd look for him today again. And so this is basically a 5th grader, well, probably a 6th grader talking to a 6th grader, 6-year-old, 11-year-old talking to 11-year-old. Here's the 1920 census. And let's get down there where we find Jackson, John L. And there she is, and she's 11 years old. We can go over and look at this. And there's information in there if you want to take and review it in more detail. Okay. And then here's the details that tells you where that's from. So this is as good as a source citation. Okay. And then she got married in 1925. She's 17 years old. And this is the marriage certificate. So now, I believe all these originals went to the Oklahoma History Society, but you'd have to ask my wife. I have 3 copies of it for some reason or another. So I think maybe we were concerned at one time about my scanning capability. There's the actual license number and everything. Okay. And then here's a household inventory. This must have been one of their first homes. This is 1925, so this may have been their early home. And this is the prices they paid for this. They paid $40 for a cabinet. They had 4 dining room chairs for $10. So well worth looking at. That's kind of interesting. I always like those kinds of things. Here's the second page of it. You can see this is their setting up for house at their marriage, and they paid $160.55 for the whole thing. And so anyway, that took care of that. This is a letter from Fred Jackson. This is a World War I letter. It's 1919. And that's Fred's one of the brothers, yeah. And so it goes through that information. Or there's a picture. Don't you love the stove? This is the kitchen at Camp Logan. I have not looked up where Camp Logan is located at. It's in Houston, Texas. I guess I did look it up. And I always do the envelope. Notice the stamp's on upside down. But you get this, and you get the address. And look at that. All they had to do was say, Miss Flores Jackson, Alden, Oklahoma, and it got to the right party. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, here's another census. Let's do the census first. And I don't remember if it's at the top or the bottom. It must be at the top. There it is, William McDonald. And there she is. She's married. She's 21 years old. And she has 3 children. Okay. And that was 1930. Here's the 1930 detail. So if you want to duplicate this, you can go to the Ancestry database and find it. And these are the names of people in the neighborhood. I try to get that when I can get that. And at one time you were able to get that off Ancestry. I was always looking at doing fan research. Okay. And then this, in 1943, she spent a long time at Wesley Hospital in Oklahoma. I believe that's in Oklahoma City. Haven't quite, I remember the story, and it was in Oklahoma City, I'm pretty sure. So these are the letters from the children. Dear Mother. Okay. And that is the letter from Jean. So you know who Jean is. Number 2 is Dear Mother, and that's from Jack. Kind of short and sweet. Number 3 is Dear Mother, and that's from Jimmy. Number 4 is Dear Mother, and that's from Nora May. You can see how wordy it is. Okay. Number 6. This is from Barbara Ann. That's real important. Number 7. That's a picture from Barbara Ann. Number 8. That's mothered, another picture from Barbara Ann. And number 9. And that gives you the address. And Oklahoma City. I was right. Okay. This is 43. 7 years later, Barbara Ann dies. And Dee will have to tell you the situation. Here's Rainbow Girls. This is the certificate for her dues there. The OES is Eastern Star. So there's Order of Eastern Star. Through the years. Here's a years of service that she received for the Eastern Star. Another Eastern Star. And another Eastern Star. And she was also Masonic Hospital. That was a lot of money in those days. So, and that was 1979. Okay. And that's that. Here's her death. It was listed on the family Bible. Funeral card. This is her funeral card. Always like funeral cards. Just the choice that they make when they do funeral cards. That's the same card. Okay. Now this is very interesting. It's the obit. I believe, if I remember correctly, she died as the result of an automobile accident. It was some of the ramifications from that. Oh. There's overall surviving then. They're gone now. Oh, it's been corrected to 18 great-grandchildren. Oh. That's you guys. Here's the gravestone. Dee and I visited there. Here's the location. This is a location shot, so you can figure out, here's the 2 gravestones. And so you can take and find some sort of something in here that you should be able to take and find to find the grave. I should always shoot one of those. And here's a picture of the cemetery. I think we were there for a service at the time. I can't remember what it was. Okay, so that's that. That was that one. And okay, she is on FamilySearch. And this LV5QW7D is her. Okay. Well, this is fun. View the relationship. Now, this will do the relationship to me. She's my 12th cousin once removed. If we go down here, let me open this up for a moment. Well, that didn't well. There we go. Move it over. If you have a FamilySearch account, this is fun. Just to see how you're related. Yeah, it goes back to the 1530s. So that's a little ways back. And you'd have to believe all these links are right. And yeah, when you get out of the 1700s and start back into the 1600s, it's really hard to establish links back there and feel confident in them. So just take it with a grain of salt. I do. I use these for a lot of things. Whoops, let's go back. I wanted to show you a little bit about how to use this. This is the detail page from FamilySearch, so you can take and see all the details that we were just talking about. And then we have sources. And if you click on these sources, for instance, like this, you can come down and do this, and it'll take you to the actual source. And see, this is all the details. This is the details about that source. And then you can view original document, and you can look at the original document. Well, come on, sometime today. There we go. And that's William McKinley McDonald. And see, she's listed as his next account. Okay. He was working for Magnolia Petroleum at the time. He was building oil rigs. He was a carpenter. So that was World War I believe. That gives a lot of information when you do that. Okay, that was the sources. None of the rest of this is in there. There's no memories in there. Dee would have to put memories in there if she wants to. And that's that. Now let's see. I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. Oops. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to show you, I think, let me get back to my list and see what I have on my list. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted. There we go. I did FamilySearch Data. Okay. How to find the physical files. Okay. I almost forgot about doing that. Okay. My family has stick memories. And there's also going to be memories at major research centers around the country. So you can, it will open up with something that looks like this. Now, the genealogy deceased main line is my main line. And since this is Dee's family, we need to look at the genealogy did. Okay. And I need to remember what her number was, which means I need to take and go back to here. And she's 184. So, hold on a minute. Okay. Where'd we go? That wasn't what I had. Let me get back to the server. Let me go to genealogy tree data. Let me go to dead. And let me go to 184. So they're all in numerical order. These are the reference numbers I have put on their names. I did this a long time before I knew it. FamilySearch had reference numbers. When you open this up, this is what she's got, what we've got in there for her. So the first thing that you might be interested in are pictures. And this has been cut out of a picture that apparently was both of them. And it's going to come up in it. Oh, well, didn't ask for that, but that's fine. So that's what she looks like. Okay. And let's go back. The next thing you might want to look at, these are unprocessed documents. And so there's a number of unprocessed documents, some of which I added today. I found these Social Security things today. Here she is sitting on the couch. You can guess who the other two people are. And then I have some extra copies of her federal census, which are probably the FamilySearch versions of that in that folder. So they're duplicates. Probably the reason why I haven't done a lot on it. And so here's all the documents that we have on her. You've just seen some of them. We walked through some of them. So you can just go down through here. But if you want to get to that index file in this folder, let's see, there it is right there. And that'll open up right into this file. So you'll have the same thing there. Okay. Where were we? We were on this here. Okay, so that's how you find the files. And yeah, if you know the reference number for any of my people or any of our people, you can take and find they're in there. You have to know my reference number at the moment. I thought about changing the file to use FamilySearch's reference number. And you can see I've used some of them for new people that are being added. But in general, that's it. Okay, now what else was I going to do? Right here. Whoops, that's the wrong one. All right, next, physical files, RootsMagic. Okay. All righty. Now, I've told everyone how to get the RootsMagic file. Well, the computer is not cooperating yet. And there you go. Now, okay, that's her file in RootsMagic. This is the pedigree view. You double click on that. Come on. Wait a minute. Double click on that. It should open. I don't know why it's doing so slow. There we go. So you have the reference number, you have the LDS number up here, and then you have all their data down here. Now there's a way of making a web page out of this, so stay tuned. I may be making a web page and providing that to you. Here's the pedigree view. You double click on this. You'll get the family view. You double click on this. You'll get an outline view. If you double click on this, you'll get everybody that's in the file. If you show everyone up here, you can group it through all kinds of groups. You double click on this. It will show you the families, the various families, and you have this one here. And this one is for associations, and I don't believe she's in any of the associations. So that's how you use RootsMagic. Like I said, there is a free version. Okay, now let's see what else I decided to tell you. Oh, another program I use to track her is Zotero. Same thing applies here. It's the same file structure as the physical files. You have to go to genealogy. You have to go to individuals not mainline. And you go down to 184, Lawrence Jackson McDonald. And this is where that research log came from. So I use Zotero to track my research. And so this has got all the research in it now. Since I've just started using Zotero, all the entrances are recent, and I've done them basically for this to answer this question. Okay, associated videos. I've already answered one family question on how our family got to Oklahoma. You might want to take and be able to find people in FamilySearch using the FamilySearch ID. These are various ones there. These are all different ID ones. And then if you don't have my YouTube channel, there it is. And here's my contact information. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I will respond to emails, but sometimes it takes me a while. Additional topics that you'd think I should be taping, let me know. And appreciate your time. Now, let's see if I can get back to Zoom. Have a great day.